Debating whether to do Iron Warriors, like a darker metallic or a light metallic. I usually start with quite dark, but I could just go straight with Lead Belcher. Not entirely sure what I want to do just yet. But we are just gonna throw some paint on and see what happens. Just get it all over the main places. I'm gonna need a bit more than this. Gonna need a lot bigger brush than this, what the hell. Especially on these bigger areas, I need to get a bigger brush. This is... Don't really have one that I want to use for metallics. I guess I could just use this one. What? This one will do. Hopefully this should make it fairly quick. So I'm just going to go over all the weapons, all of like the armor, metal plated armor. I'm not thinking to do any sort of coloured metal. I'm just going to stick with just plain silver. That's how my other ones, well, that's how I've been doing my other ones. So that's basically what I'm just going to go for. It's pretty plain and simple. Nice nonetheless. But yeah, I think I like the dark, definitely like dark metal a lot better. So that's what I'm going to stay with, and then I'll probably throw, maybe I'll throw some shade on it. I'm not 100% sure just yet. It is the standard though, so as I am army painting, I am doing true metallics. Not that I can actually do non-metallic metal that well anyway, but it is always worth doing true metallics if you're doing army painting, just because that can take so long. You can do quick versions of non-metallic metal, but does it look as good? That's the question. Or you can just get some really nice, quick and easy paint schemes just using true metallics. So that is why I recommend it. Oh, did I just go on his back? I did just... God damn. Clean it up. Luckily, I'm only doing the base coat colours of the model, so it shouldn't actually be too bad. Just to go back and clean it up, it should take a couple of minutes, but I tend to try to be like as careful as I can. I haven't painted in, well, besides since this week, it's been since about January time, so it's fairly rusty. I need to get back into it. So that's what I'm doing. Just do a chainmail as well. Just walk down the paint a bit more so it spreads a bit easier over this chainmail. I was thinking of putting some brass on here, but I'm kind of, I don't know. I don't really want to. I made the Lead Belcher guns bronzy brass colours, but I'm not really sure about any of the like melee weapons. Whether I should do them as brass or not. Kind of don't want to be honest. Kind of just want to keep them how they look with the silver. But it's already coming together. Just having a couple of colors on a model just already like starts to bring it all together. It's quite nice. Although they do look very different when you've got like just a plain base coated model compared to like a fully highlighted model. So at the moment I only have one that's actually fully highlighted, and all the rest of them just look kind of not there, and it kind of annoys me that I've done that. But I wanted to paint them all, like have them all highlighted and stuff, but I just don't have time to do that, especially for an army. That's why I've got the ogres, because there's not too many models in this ogre army that I've got a couple of well, 6 cavalry, and then the rest I think 1 monster, and the rest are basically melee focused. I'll do this bit as well. I wasn't going to do that bit. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with this bit actually. I'll paint it though. So since we're here, completely missed this bit as well. It's always good, isn't it? Hoping this new camera is working. Okay, my hands. I kind of put it down 1. Is that a bit better? I have metallics on my hands. I don't know if that's too dark. It kind of looks a bit dark. I've been playing with all the settings of the camera. I got a new camera yesterday, so I've been trying them out, and I don't know if this is good or not. Let's see. That's fine. I mean, that does look kind of dark. I don't know if that is too dark. I feel like it is too dark. I need like a setting in between this setting. Damn it. I definitely get more motivated when I start seeing progress made on a model. There has been several times where I've started a model and then I'd like to paint things in sections. I'm trying various different ways, and this way is actually, I feel like it's a lot better for me in terms, well, in the sense that I can see progress being made. Because obviously what I used to do is paint like little parts. So I'd paint like one half of a leg, or I'd paint the boots first, and then I'd go to the upper leg, and then I'd go to like some fur, and I'd do like the face, that kind of thing. But now I'm trying to block in all the colors first, and then I'm gonna obviously work over each color, and just seeing like it's not obviously fully done yet, but just seeing like the silvers, seeing the red, the black. I need to actually do all the blacks, which I haven't actually done, but it motivates me a bit more, so it's nice. Getting all these bits. Need to do around the back here. Gonna keep all of the like staff parts, or not staff, but like the handle black. I'll do like the attached thing, I don't know, like parchment color, sort of like an off-whitey brown. But I like not using my DSLR now. It's actually quite nice. It's a lot smaller camera. Feel like it's better. I don't really know. Honestly, I don't know about like the quality of cameras and stuff. That is not my forte. But from what I can see, it's fairly decent quality, so I'm happy with it. It's just I need to get these settings and stuff correct on it. And I guess once I've done that, it should all be good. Feels quite zoomed out though. That's one thing that I've noticed. I don't know, maybe I need to zoom in a little bit. Though I don't think this camera has too much zoom going on, so I don't know how that is gonna work. Let's see. Let's give it a go, shall we? Let's see, where are we? Go on here. Yeah, no, there's not much zoom going on it at all, really. I put it as full zoom, see if that's... I guess that works a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I'll leave it at that, I think. Right, let's continue. Just get these metallics down, and then I can crack on with the other parts. For now, I will keep it fairly simple. And I think that I want to go do this guy. And then haven't actually finished that one. Okay. Where's my silver? Let's get this mic moved out of my way. It's right in my face. I'm actually... Maybe if I put it here. It's a little bit better actually. I don't know if it's... I mean, yeah, it's picking me up okay. So I'll just leave it there, to be honest. A little bit out of the way. It's not directly where I'm speaking, but having it directly where I'm speaking, I can't see my screen or anything. So it's quite annoying. Just throw some more metallics over this. Being careful because I don't really want to have to go clean up. But as I've only done the base coats, it's not too big of an issue if I do mess up or spill over onto the other layers. Already done. Yeah, this music, I'm not a fan of this music. Oh, that sound just sounded cool. That's absolutely fine with me. Got the chest rig set up, the stomach plate or whatever it is. I really don't know what this actually is. It's just a metal plate on the stomach, I guess. Throw some silver onto that. I'll have to get into this little section too. Then, big blade here as well. Need to do. Shouldn't be too bad. Let's work out some bone colors. Get some bone coloring down, and the bandages and things do also do. I think I'll do them. I actually might use contrasts for that. So we'll see. Need to keep going. I'm excited though. I like doing all the highlighting. I think that's my favourite. I've got an axe here as well, which I missed. Just need to get that down. There we go. There's axe. And then slowly coming to life. Oh, I've missed his feet. Oh, I completely. Oh, all the other ones have boots. I completely missed this guy's feet. So I'll need to quickly go back and do them. In just a moment. I'm completely blind. So that little gap. Nice. So go here. Just make sure it's all covered. Don't have to worry about that. Okay, now I need to go back to. There's a little bit of blade there too. So many Age of Sigmar models are just so detailed and they have so many little bits to them. I love Age of Sigmar. They do have some really nice models. So I'm using Rakar Flesh as the base for the skin at the moment. I will use this again. I don't tend to use the same brush usually, but I'm sort of going against what I said. I'm just going to do it anyway. Yeah, this guy's got some weird feet. One done. This is two. Doing his toenails. Probably not going to go into that much detail. Throw some shade on it, call it a day. Maybe some highlights later on. Did actually want to paint this guy to a fairly decent level, but I don't know if I've got time. This is the one model that I wanted to do to a decent level. I don't know what to do is like, I'm guessing that's a Seraphon lizard. I can't remember, cold ones? Or is that Total War? I don't actually remember. The cavalry. Don't know if that's what it is. I'm assuming it is. I don't know. Sure. Okay, that's him done. Continue on with the old silvers. The old metallics. This guy's got a pretty cool looking sword. And then what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to dry brush some lead belcher over the top, or throw some shade or something. What I usually like to do is, when I do metallics, is just throw some non-oil or like some black wash over the top of the metallic, and then just dry brush with that same metallic, because then it brings it back to where it was, just with like all the darkness added to it, and then just do another dry brush with a lighter silver or a lighter metal, and then if you want to push it a little step further, you can do some, what I like to do is use a hardened sponge, and then you can create some like, get a really bright metal, like Rune Fang Steel, I think it's called, and you can create some really nice scratching effects. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this music. I'm painting off the goddamn screen again, aren't I? I'll move this back a little bit. Move this a little bit forward. Don't know what this is. I know it's a horn, but I'm guessing it's bone that it's made out of. So I'll have to find something to paint that with. That's what I've got to do all this guy's armies. Tons of metallic on it. Actually missed a little bit of, what's it called? Sprue. This guy, but it's all good. Let's do some skulls as well. Smashing for it though. Definitely a lot quicker than yesterday. I mean, the last couple of days I've been streaming. It's been some slow progress getting these guys done. I am a very slow painter. But that's not a problem. Not a problem at all. Almost there. Got a little bit more. Couple. Don't even know what I'm trying to say there. A few little bit. Why am I trying to say the same thing in a different way? It still doesn't make any sense. Few bits left to do. There we go. Set it. Okay. Have I covered all the black on these guys? I think so. Just gonna do the back of his weapon. Yep. Gonna have to go over the skin again. Missed some bits of skin, which is absolutely fine. Oh, I haven't done the top part either. I still painting this on stream. It is the new camera. How's it going, Rick? I didn't realize you mentioned your birthday yesterday. I didn't realize it was your birthday. I watched your latest video where you got the I can't remember what plane it is. It's a Tamiya plane with the, and then you also showed your little haul of the AOS starter set, which is pretty cool. So happy birthday for yesterday. Sorry, I saw the message where you said you were going out for your birthday meal, and I didn't realize it. Yeah, I just didn't realize it was your birthday. But happy birthday for yesterday. And I've been playing with the settings of the new camera. See if I can like, because obviously with my DSLR it was showing like the white was super bright on it. So I've been playing with like the exposure and gain, brightness and all that. And I think I found something that works, but I don't know. You'll have to let me know how it looks. I did check on my phone, but it's on my phone, so I can't really tell. On the actual streaming software, it looks okay. Sorry, I'm not listening to this music. Oh my god. Not a fan. Is there any just like... Maybe this? Try this. Yeah, I was playing with all the settings, so it's good that you say that. Although, I don't know, my hands are still like... Yeah, it depends where you see him, I guess. Because when I looked at my hands earlier when I was testing it, I was just using my hands. Because I'm very pale, and they were just like bright white. And I managed to get it down to where I can actually see like the skin color of my hands a little bit. But I'm going to keep having to play with these settings anyway. Just because I want to make sure I've got it set up good. If that makes sense. Or it's the optimal settings. It's going to be quite difficult though, because I got multiple settings on my lamp. So some are a lot brighter than others. But I'm trying to keep it at one setting. Usually I have it on the lowest setting, just so that the light can be very bright sometimes. but I am slowly getting there with the ogres. I don't know if you made any progress on yours from when you were stripping the paint yesterday. That's good. Yeah, I wish I would have filled these gaps up before I would have started this. Like, the gaps in the shoulders, it's just not good. It's quite annoying, but I didn't actually have any like sprue glue or anything, and I couldn't be bothered to fill it up just because it was going to take some time, so I just sort of just went for it. I could have done it before I actually started these, because I have actually made some sprue glue like fairly recently, but I still didn't bother. So, that's fine, it's whatever. Okay, let's keep going. But I'm getting some metallics down now, so the models are slowly getting there. And then once I've done these, I'm going to start on some 40k stuff, which I'm excited for. Or I might do some bust, which I got later on down the line. I'm really not enjoying this music today. Good. Do you get them? So, when I've previously stripped paint off models, I could never get them fully clean, and I have like something in my head where I want to get them like fully clean, but I know it's probably likely that I never get them fully clean. But when I've watched like videos of people stripping their models and stuff, it always looks like they're like fully, like the paint is just fully clean off. But I can never seem to get that level of like cleanness, I guess. That show green skin. Show blue. Do you mean in terms of like basing, like blue and green as like a base color, or do you mean like actual just blue skin, grey skin? Because I've also watched quite a few videos on like skin tones and stuff, and they usually start with like a blue or a green for like cool and warmer colors. Yeah, okay, that was my expectation. Just because whenever I watch other people, maybe I'm just being naive and they're stripping the model, but not actually showing you like the full process, and they're just getting a brand new model and just sticking it in its place. So yeah, maybe I'm just being naive on that part. Just knowing like, okay, yeah, I mean maybe that's what they're doing. Who knows? Blue and green skin. Oh, okay, yeah. You know what, one of the main things that I don't actually enjoy too much is doing metallics. I don't think there's too much to it, to be honest. unless you're going like in detail. This music sucks. I don't know what's going on with this music today. I've just picked like a random playlist, but I can't find something that I like. Why is it switched off of this? Here we go. I'll leave it as that. Yeah, how was your day yesterday though? After when you left the stream? Or when I finished streaming? Do do do. Probably should have painted this like actual club first before I've done these metallics, but it's absolutely fine. Probably gonna have to do some cleanup later on anyway. But I'm a big fan of this silver color. I like dark metallics over the bright metallics. I even like dulling them down a bit more. Almost there. Well, no, I'm not. Say that and I see a bunch more metal that I've missed. Yeah, it's the issue with Indians having Indian meals. I think Indian is definitely my favorite food there. Going out for an Indian meal. Is easily my favorite. But I'm glad you had a good day anyway. Once I'm done blocking in the metallics, probably I don't really know what I'm gonna do after this. Probably go over the blacks because I never actually went over the all the blacks. Maybe I'll do some greys, throw some greys in there for like all the rocks and the concrete, which I'm guessing this is rock. The actual club itself. So I need to find a grey that I want to use. Maybe I'll just use a basic grey. Just very standard, like I think I've got neutral grey from Vallejo, which I might just throw on there. It's something quick. Sort of just looking to get these ones up to just a table top ready standard. Nothing too crazy. So one, I don't want to spend too much time on these, and well, I mean I kind of do, I would like eventually, well, I would like to eventually get these guys like properly painted with highlights and all that stuff. Quickly whack some paint on his gun. A couple of bits. Clean up. Make sure I've hit everywhere that I want to get. Do the underneath. Duxford with a friend, let me down. Oh, well, thank you for joining in on the stream. Sorry that your friend cancelled on you. It sucks when that happens, but it happens frequently, I find. I stopped my leaning on my left side. Ah, there's more metal that I need to paint. Have I done the whole... Nope. Missed some little bits on the club. I might actually just put these guys... I don't know if... is that going to be easier just to do on here? Probably not, is it? I want to stop touching the model because I keep... Maybe I'll just glue them on here soon. I need to paint the actual cavalry beast. I think I should do that first, actually. And then I can actually glue them on. Yeah, cool. I will... Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna stop with the metallics for a moment and maybe just jump straight to the... I don't know how to do the levers. I'm not really sure how I want to do them. I don't even know what they look like regularly. Normally. Take a look. What was this called? Warhammer. Age of Sigmar. Scout Destruction. Mawtribes. How do they have theirs? Yeah. So that is like a dark brown. Got like black tusks. Blackish brown tusks. Yeah, like a dark lightish grey for the club. Okay, I think I will... Do I have any browns right next to me? Got a Rhinox hide. I didn't want to use Rhinox hide, but I think I might just do it because it's sitting right here. So, but are you? What are you up to today? Are you making a start on your AOS? Are you continuing with your scale models? What's going on? Do you go for darker, like reddish browns, or do you go for like more? Don't even really know what to call, like yellowish browns, I guess. Whenever you paint your leather, I'm just gonna stick with Rhinox hide, just the standard. What's my sort of standard that I go for usually? Just makes everything so much quicker. Well, just because I've used it so much. And then I build up. I think I go for, well, I can't just remember. I think I go to like, most of it is Citadel that I use. I don't have too many browns of like any other brand. There's quite a few things like that that I have. So brown is definitely one. Yellows is another one. I don't really have many yellows of any other brand besides Citadel. Which Citadel yellows aren't the best at all. So I should probably get some other ones, but yeah, I don't use it enough to want to go buy a bunch more yellows from like somewhere else. I've heard the Pro Acryl yellows are pretty good. One colour that I don't actually use too often is orange, and I want to paint some more stuff that like to use the orange. Whether that's using like OSL, but I usually do like red. It's like yellow and skip orange. Hey Hextred. Pro Acryl. Yeah, I do. I've got a few colors of Pro Acryl, but I've got like the main one, like bold titanium white. I got some like specialty ones for like jade, and I think it's dark emerald, which is the specialty one, or it's a signature series, which I really like. I use them for some dark angels. I'm a big fan of Pro Acryl though. Just their paints are so damn expensive, but they are 100% worth it though. Am I doing all this? I am doing all this. Screw it, I'm just gonna send it and paint everything. Probably start set and a few more paints. The Rogue Hobbies starter set. Which one is that? Rogue Hobbies. Oh, is that I can't remember her name. The person who's made the little goblins. Or am I thinking of something else? Oh, okay, fair enough. £10 a pot, it's like triple the size. Yeah, that's true. They are a lot bigger than Citadels, and their consistency I usually find is a lot more. Across like batches, the consistency is always there. Whereas with Citadels, I've bought, I think it's Corax White, and even Rhinox Hide. Rhinox Hide was pretty terrible. Like I've bought some of those, and the consistency just has always been different in each paint pot, which I haven't enjoyed. Yeah, I think Rogue Hobbies, she's a YouTuber, or she worked for like, I'm just gonna look it up, but I think this is who you're talking about. Rogue Hobbies, is that one? Yeah, she made the Rascal Town miniatures and stuff. I've watched a few of her videos. I do like her. She's quite cool. Well, the process is black primer, highlight all the areas that would catch the light with white. including scratches, then layer with washes. That's a pretty good idea. I need to be honest, I do want to experiment using washes and stuff for doing leather and like adding a bunch of scratches and stuff. I tend not to do leather too often. I very much just, I don't know, sort of just paint it in a very basic color and do a couple of like highlights on it. Yeah, I think there's actually a couple of them now. I know there's some like big name painters who have like the Pro Acryl, like their signature sets and stuff. I don't, to be honest, I don't know who. I think I've got it behind me. Like this one is it's Dark Emerald, and it's actually got the, I think it's the name, Matt. It's just a signature series one, but this color I really like and enjoy this color. Sorry if you can hear my chair squeaking. It's actually pretty loud. Takes a few layers to see the effect, but it's either light brown or dark brown. Yeah, yeah. Like I was saying, I need to try just doing like different effects for leather. I never really like explored it too much. I'm kind of just like, I don't enjoy painting it, so I'm just like, nah, one color's fine, and yeah, go from there pretty much. Sometimes I do highlights on the leather. If I'm painting like a higher end model or to a higher standard, I will do some highlights and stuff on the leather, but usually I just leave it as one color, which is usually Rhinox hide because I'm lazy. And like I said, I don't really enjoy painting leather that much. But I think it's just because I've not actually explored it, like I said, which is, I definitely need to. But it's always like leather, unless it's like covering most of the model, you don't really see it too much, and that's why I just don't put too much emphasis on it. I want to put like more emphasis on like the armor and do like some glazing and that like kind of smooth transitioning of that. And that's basically my thought processes behind it. Keen to try pigment powders. Yeah, I've used pigment powders quite a bit. I usually only really do it for basing. I've also done it for like, I've got some rust pigment powders and stuff which I like to use, which are quite fun. But I've had some incidents where um, I've put them on the base, and then when I've carried my models to a game or something, the pigments like sort of come off. Like I've tried to seal it um, on the actual base so they don't just like go everywhere, but that's hasn't worked like that sometimes. But it's whatever really. It's fine. Just a little bit of a sandstorm going on wherever they are. But I'll definitely give pigment powders a go. Fair go. Where is the wrong side? Are you currently working on anything, Hex? You got anything on the go? That's watered down quite a lot. A couple of blood angles. Everyone goes for, I swear everyone's like a Blood Angels fan. They are very cool. It seems to be what everyone likes. think the only Blood Angels model that I've actually painted is Lamai's. I did start doing, I can't remember his name, the other guy, Astarath. I think his name's Astarath. He was quite fun, but I never actually finished him. And he still needs to do his wings. I've got him somewhere behind me. No, I don't. He is on my shelf somewhere. I don't know. I started doing like non-metallic metal on his on the golds, and it just takes so long. So I think I just got bored and stopped. Which seems to be the case whenever I do non-metallic metal. So I should probably just stop doing non-metallic metals. But I do want to get better at it. Okay, I'm just going to throw one here as well. I don't really know what I'm doing right now. I didn't want to make it all one colour. I'll probably change. Maybe I'll do a bit of a different colour. For the seat itself, maybe I'll change it to maybe like a grey seat, or just even like, I don't know, I want to have some more grey. Because I need to do the skin colour of this beast. I don't actually know what this thing's called. Mornfang? Maybe? I actually can't remember. But thank you for the follow, by the way. Thanks. It's much appreciated. I don't exactly know how to get the Twitch following and all that, like the alerts and stuff going. But I would like to try get that set up at some point. One of my friends is a Twitch streamer, so he's got quite a lot of knowledge on it. What do you mean by normal? To be honest, I've looked for like a few streamers that just regularly paint, and yeah, I can't really ever find any. They're either American, so it takes them, or it's like in the night, because I'm obviously British and I live in the UK, so they're always like streaming in the night. So I never see them. Last guy I found. Okay. What the hell? Yeah, no, I'm just gonna be doing some painting and that's it. I'm not gonna be eating any figures. I have a 40k Orcs Combat Patrol. It's been sitting in my stash since. It's been quite a while. To be fair, I think I've got some very old models that I just haven't painted. I'm pretty sure when I got back into the hobby, I've still got some like Necrons that I have just not painted. I also had I can't remember what they're called, the Outriders. That's one. I had a bunch of those which I never got around to painting. I just sold them to my friend. Just because I knew they were never going to get done. But he's still on the Orcs then. You going in for any particular scheme for the orcs? Okay. I've got to do this in like another 5 times, I think. Just leather. I don't want to do red. I want to do like red seats, but like red leather seats up on here. But it's just gonna blend in with their trousers, so I'd rather not. I'm not really sure what I'm going to use for the shade of their fur just yet. Maybe I'll just do like a light grey shade. Damn it. That's fine. Okay, cool. That bit is... It's not done properly, but it's something. Okay. Battle touch of the clans, and these guys are painting. Yeah, to be honest, I don't really know too many like orc clans. I think the main one is Goths, and I mean, I know a couple other names, but I don't really know what they look like in terms of like colors. But I guess with orcs you can just do whatever you want, can't you? You don't have to go for like a specific clan scheme. I do like a lot of homebrew chapters and factions and clans. I don't tend to see too many of them. to be honest. Although I think I said like the other day, whenever I paint something, I just like to paint. I like to paint a variety of ways, not just one particular way. So for my Emperor's Children, or for my World Eaters army, I've done some with blood red armor. Done some of their old like 30k scheme where they got white and then red. Sorry, not red, blue shoulder pads, and I've done some with white and red shoulder pads for like different squads, stuff like that. That's usually how I like to paint. It just breaks up the monotony of like painting so many different models, so many of the same model in the exact same way. And you do get quicker with it, but obviously you do use slightly different paints. But I'm, like I said before, I'm definitely not an army painter. So I like to try just do like a couple models every here and there. But for obviously this, I'm, like I've been saying, I'm going to be playing a game next week, so I want to try get these done. So streaming and painting these at the same time is giving me motivation to actually get these things done, because I've had these for quite a while. Getting there. And then I might just leave the belts black on the actual ogres. I'm trying to find some little shortcuts where I don't have to paint absolutely everything. I can leave some of it its base colors. Damn it, why does this keep... Paintbrush keeps drying out like super quickly. For some paint for this, get that quick. I actually started, when I started the stream, I started painting with like a... I was saying yesterday that I've recently just been experimenting painting with different size brushes, and I started painting the metallics, and as I was doing the metallics, I painted with a very small size brush, like a size, I don't know, maybe like 0 or something like that. Wait, it is the layer small from Citadel, just like their well, that helps decal sheet. It's got the clans on, like the sound of freebooters. Sounds like a blank canvas to me. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. Do it. You going for like any patterns or anything on them, so that'd be pretty cool. Always like the especially with like Harlequins, if you know any Harlequins, but like the checkered and diamond pattern that you can do on them. I really like that, but obviously doing checkered and diamond patterns are quite hard. Because I think the Goths are checkered. Have checkered patterns on them. But as I was saying, using like a small, like I was using a layer small brush from Citadel, and it was just taking ages just to do like one weapon, and I switched to this size brush, which is a size 2, and it was just so much quicker. And I can't believe, like, a while ago I was using like a 000, well, not a 000, but like a very small size brush just to get the base coats down. And I think that was one reason why I was taking so long to paint like just one model. It's crazy the difference. God damn. Death Jester's awesome. Have you got the like older one where he's standing up, or have you got the crouched one? Yeah, I'm a fan of size 1 brushes now, I think. I was definitely always using like the smaller sized brushes. It was just, everything just took so long. But I'm glad I made the switch to using like larger size brushes, especially for the base coating of colors. It's definitely helped. This music is much better than earlier. Just crashing my piece of masonry. Yeah, okay, that's the newer one then. I did try to do some diamonds on my one, but it didn't go too well. I'd like to get better at freehanding though. I think that's one reason why I really like AOS as well, because you get so many banners and stuff, especially for like some of my Soulblight Grave Lords. They like the skeleton grave guards. They have like the big banners, and they're just like plain big banners. You could do all sorts of them. I never have, because I just know it's not going to go well. But I feel like I'm going to eventually, once I get back into painting and getting my control back. I definitely want to try do some more freehanding stuff. Second one is almost done. Just need to do all the difficult bits. There's a guy at my model club. There's a guy at my model club. Does freehand on his tie. It's amazing work. Yeah, that's really cool. I've seen like a lot of, especially with the bigger models, like their shoulder pads and stuff. Some of those like freehands that people have done are just incredible. That's it's so good. I would love to do that, but I do not practice it, and I also don't have a Titan. I have a Taunar, which is like a big, like, it's basically the Tau's version of like a Warhound Titan, but that doesn't really have anywhere where you can freehand like the Tau symbols on, but I don't think it would look too good with like some like free-handed mountains or something like that on it. Whereas I feel with like, if you're doing like Space Marine Titans, like a Warhound Titan or a Warlord Titan, you could easily do some sort of like religious like looking freehand, which is usually what I see. I've seen some where they've got like the mountain landscape kind of freehands on there, which are also really cool. It doesn't really fit the aesthetic of 40k, but it's nonetheless, it is really good. It's 2 done. 4 more to go. Probably just going to do these 2 and then call it a day for the leather. Also need to do just all the under part of the. I have to quickly do all that. Unless it's just all. No, it's not. It's actually plastic. Good stuff. Oh yeah, they are called Mournfangs. I'm done. It's all covered up. It's plastic, which I've completely missed. Why is this freezing on me? There we go. He had a wolf's head on the shoulder, and I was wondering why he did on such a small space. Yeah, that sounds really cool. Just anything that, to be honest, anything that's free-handed is just insane to me. Just because I've never really been that great at art, and when it comes to like painting Warhammer and stuff, it is art. I know a lot of people argue that it's not because it's like everyone says it's like you're literally just coloring numbers kind of thing. But at the end of the day, it is art. But that is just like a different level of art, doing like freehand and stuff. But I was never too good at art. I started like practicing drawing like when I was a kid and stuff like that, but I was never any good at it. God damn, I missed tons on here. What the hell? My priming is not great. Yeah, it appears. Can't believe how much I missed. Jeez Louise. What models would you recommend for getting into like scale modeling and stuff like that, Rick? Like just any sort of like vehicle or something around. I guess it all depends on what you like, isn't it? Because I guess there's literally everything that's made. I've never really looked too much into it though, so it'd be cool to hear your thoughts since you're in it. Well, that's very cool. I think if I didn't go down the route of like going into like IT, and so originally I started in sports, probably would have went into art because I do really enjoy art, or music, something like that. Just anything like that's like creative. But instead I went for technical, sciencey based stuff. Yeah, it depends on what you're interested in. I don't know, to be honest. I don't really want like anything military based, but I mean, even that would interest me. But I'm just thinking like getting away from like the military aspect of the hobby, because I guess this is what like 40k and stuff is all like that sort of type of deal. So I'd want to move away from that and maybe just do like some regular, like civilian type stuff, I guess. I don't really know. I'd pretty much like would be interested in whatever, to be honest. I just need to take some time and have a look. I'd want to probably do something that maybe I'm not like the most familiar with, but something like I could learn about. I think that's what would probably get me more interested. So something like, I don't know, like a specific truck or like a fire engine or something, I don't know, something along them lines. And then as I'm doing it, because one of the things that I really enjoy, especially with like Warhammer and stuff, is I said it like the other day, but I like lore, like the lore behind everything. So even if I don't know what it is at that time, like if I pick up like a random like truck type or something like that, and then what I usually do is like find a random YouTube video where it's got like their lore or its lore and stuff, and then I read up on it, and then as I'm painting it, like that's what I listen to, like some sort of audiobook about the model that I'm painting, and I really enjoy that, because then you sort of like learn about what you're actually painting. So to be honest, I'd be happy with anything, to be honest. Okay, for that one is done. Yep, same on this side. Definitely missed a lot on these from when I was priming these. I didn't actually check them really, I just sprayed them and sort of just went with it and started painting them. So I should probably double check it next time, just to make sure that they've all been fully primed. It's not a big deal, but it's just a bit annoying that I have to come back to putting on extra primer, which is what I did have to do yesterday anyway, so I'm now doing it for a third time. Or maybe not yesterday, day before. On the tusks as well. I think I'm gonna leave the tusks black and I do like some greyish browny highlights in them or something like that. Something along those lines. Beautiful. Racing cars would be good. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Might have to take a look at that. Take a look at that. Can you get like Formula One cars? I'm not the biggest fan of Formula One, but I mean I think they're pretty cool to look at. I don't really know any Formula One drivers, but I guess the only person I know actually is Lewis Hamilton. Be cool to get his one or something like that. I'll be down to check that out, I think. Okay. Back to where I was before I had to reprime things. Back to the Rhinox hide. The one thing that always trips me up about Citadel colors is they've obviously got names from like their models. So you've got like Mornfang Brown, and obviously this beast is like it's a Mornfang. So I feel like I need to paint or put Mornfang Brown on it. I know that's stupid because the names literally don't mean anything, but still. Kit form since the 70s. Damn, quite a while then. Yeah, I think I'll take a look at that. You know what? Every single stream you've always, every single stream so far you've recommended something to me, and then I've gone and had a look at it, and now I want to buy something. First it was the camera, the new camera. Then it was Lagerfur, the Vikings model, and today it's now Formula One racing models. But I'm definitely gonna have a look at them later on. So I want to get better at painting, and I know one of the ways to get better at painting is painting things that you don't usually paint, and I think that would actually be a pretty cool project to do. And I know I've got tons of other things to paint, but having like a variety, like even if it's just going from like 40k like sci-fi to AOS fantasy stuff, I have just gone over the skin of I can't remember what I was saying. Going from like the different settings to then going to something like real, like an actual like model of a car kind of thing. I think that would definitely be beneficial. Do you know if they're made from like are they plastic kits or are they like resin? Do you or I mean I'm guessing there's like a variety. Some might be resin, some might be plastic, but like average, do most brands do them in plastic? Do you know? Or is there any sort of brands that you recommend for like Formula One cars? If you've ever looked at them, I don't know. Plastic kits mostly, Rivel and Tamiya. Okay, I'll take a look at Tamiya. I do like Tamiya's paints and stuff, which we discussed the other day. And your plane that I saw in your video was also Tamiya, which looked pretty cool. So I'll definitely check them out. Skull on the bottom. I need to do skulls as well. There's so much to paint in this thing. go back to the black in a second. Also need to paint his hoofs. I was building aircraft when I was 10, moved on to military vehicles, tanks, then onto ships, onto trucks and cars. Last 14, I've been dabbling figures and sci-fi, jack of all trades, master of none. As they say, there's much more to that saying. Can't remember what the saying is, but there is a lot more to that saying, which benefits the jack of all trades. But you've been doing this for quite a while then. I think when I started, obviously I started in Warhammer. I think I got into Lord of the Rings, and I jumped into 40k. But I started when I was, it must have been like roughly like the same time, like roughly around 10. But I obviously took a huge break, which most people do. And then obviously got back into it like a couple of years ago. And haven't stopped ever since. But I'm so happy that I picked it back up. It was just walking past like the Warhammer stores and stuff. Just they obviously, the one near me, I think most of them have it, but the ones, well, the Warhammer stores, they have their like cabinets from what other people have painted, and obviously every single time I walked past that, I always stopped and had a look, even though I was never in back in the hobby. And then I think I went in there one day, and then I ended up getting the 40k box, like the starter set, and then I was hooked. And then I made some friends who are also in the hobby, and I've never gotten out of it again. They've kept me in it. I mean, to be fair, I probably would still be in it anyway, just because I enjoy the painting aspect of it all. But adding the playing and stuff just gives me a bit of variety. However, it doesn't help my bank account in any way, but that's a whole other story. I don't know how my mic is right now. I feel like I'm talking not very loud, but although the good thing about today is it's not as hot as what it has been the last couple of days, so I'm happy with it. I am quite happy with that. No, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't sure because I've put it slightly behind me, just because I kept knocking my paintbrush whenever I was like cleaning my paints and stuff. I kept knocking it, so I decided to put it like to the right of me and a little bit back. Well, I pulled it a bit more forward again, but I wasn't sure about like my level of volume from when I was talking. I've been talking. So close to completing this leather part. So close. Might have to go over and do some cleanup, but for the most part, I've not actually gone on to the fur, which I'm pretty happy with. I thought it'd go a lot worse than this. Yeah, Warhammer's a huge, huge universe, and it's awesome. It's got to be one of my favorite things. But the worst part is when you're trying to explain what it is to other people. They don't have a goddamn clue. I think like a year ago when I was doing commission painting and stuff like that, because I was working full time at that time, and I was trying to explain. I basically wanted to just let them know like what I'm doing on the side of my main job. So I was like, okay, I'm doing some like commission painting. Like, what do you mean commission painting? I was like, oh, I'm painting people's models. And then they're like, what? I was like, do you know what Warhammer is? Oops. And they were like, no. So I was like, had to show them some pictures and stuff, and yeah, it was quite funny. But they were fine with it. But for the most part, yeah, most people don't know what Warhammer is, but I feel like it's getting a lot more popular, or it has gotten a lot more popular, especially like during the COVID lockdowns and stuff. Like, I think there was like a huge boom in the space. Guns, looks like it has mixed with short middle. Hey Julian, how's it going? Good to see you again. Thanks for subscribing. Much appreciated. Let's get this goddamn off. Sorry. Sorry, where was I? I know how to make manis out of gluttons, orc slugger hands mixed with shortened middle dwarven organ gun barrels. Also sculpting cool coats for that. I mean, that sounds pretty cool. The first box set was the Island of Blood, which was Skaven High Elves. I only brought it for the High Elf Griffin model. Can I take a look at that? That sounds pretty cool. I do like High Elves. Take a look at Skaven. Do you know, have you ever dabbled in Blood Bowl? Either Julian or Rick. I think that's one thing that I've always wanted to get, and especially some of these new kits that they've got going on. They look so cool. Like, I love the gnome one with the little goose. I think they're so cool, and like the little badger. I think they're awesome. Island of Blood. That's not... God, why can't I spell? What's this? Oh, that Griffin actually looks so cool with the lance. The guy with the lance. Very cool. Look at them ogres. And the little Skaven engineer team. I do like the, I can't remember what they're called, Luminef? Like the, are they Sea Guard or something like that? I can't remember, I've only played them on Total War, so I only know that sort of names. Yeah, their models are cool. That Griffin looks awesome. It's got like a little leopard print on its back. Let's see, my first box sets was the first 2 levels of 8th edition starter sets. Is that the Orc and, I can't remember what it was. Or is that, am I thinking of the wrong thing? Chaos, maybe? I don't know. Love and Sea Guard. I have one Blood Bowl model painted that is an ogre. Yeah, I think that's one, I've never played it. Again, I think I've only played it on my computer, like the Blood Bowl game. So I don't really know too much about it and actually how to play it. I don't really see many people playing it, but I know it's got like a bit of a cult following and a cult fan base for it. I think that would be one thing that I would really like to play. And like a little, because the Blood Bowl teams aren't that big, are they? So I know you've got like your main set, and then you can do like some star players, I think. I would love to do the gnomes. Just that gnome like Blood Bowl team is just awesome. Love and Sea Guard, yep. Was close. They're the second coolest out in the world. In Old World, Shadow Warriors are my favorites. What are the ones? There's some like Dark Elves. I can't remember. Are Dark Elves in? Have they released any Old World Dark Elves? Because that always used to be like my main faction on Total War. Let's take a look at Old Worlds. No, they've got Warriors, so High Elf Realms, Dwarven Mountain Holds, Emperor of Man, Kingdom of Bretonnia, Orc and Goblin Tribes. Okay, so they don't actually have any Dark Elves. Because that's basically what I wanted for, not yet, but there's Darkling Covens for AOS. I've seen some of them, but they're a mixture of like the what is it? The Age of Sigmar, I think. And I wasn't too big of a fan. But some of the models on Cities of Sigmar are really cool. But I've got quite a lot of friends that actually, or quite a lot of people I know that, yeah, they fall under Cities of Sigmar, yeah, that collect them. So I've just not really ventured into it too much. But like the Hydras, I just think look so cool, and like the Corsairs, definitely really cool, and the Black Dragon. I think there'd be one army that I would really like to have, and I think that's why I went for. So I've got some, but not too many. Drukhari, because I wanted that sort of vibe, but it's not the same. Yeah, I've looked at Daughters of Cain. I think Rick said that he had some of the Daughters of Cain, or has an army of Daughters of Cain, and they are one army that I did look at. But I think, as I mentioned previously, the T-posed avatar just didn't do it for me. And I know that's like I don't have to get that model, but that would be something that I like having like one big model, like one monster or like sort of hero that is like the centerpiece of the army. So I'd want something like that, although it'd probably be like Marathi or something like that, which I'd do, but yeah, I think I do like Marathi. Okay, how am I gonna do this? Just, I think I would like in a world where I could have like every single army. I think I'd just like to have every army, but no, that's one, financially is dumb, and then two, it's a bit excessive to have absolutely every army. It would be cool though. It would be cool. I already have too many armies. I don't get around to painting or playing. So yeah, that's just a dumb idea. Maybe you can modify the 40k avatar of K. I don't know how big the Daughters of Cain one actually is. I did actually have the Avatar of Cain. I started painting it, but then I sold it to my mate because I was never getting around to painting it fully. So I think he took it. I don't actually know what he's done with that now. I don't know if he's painted it at all or if he's just sold it on, because he does that quite a lot. He wants like a lot of different models. He'll buy them and they'll be like, oh, I've got no time to paint this, so I can't actually paint it, which is basically what we both do. Although I tend not to sell mine, I tend to keep mine and then sell them like years down the road. Okay, I'm gonna have to. Quickly throw some. Well, next batch of priming, I'm definitely going to be double checking because I absolutely hate doing this, having to go back and forth with the primer. It seems such a waste of time. It really is. I should have just done it properly the first time. Don't have to worry about any of this. Maybe this is why I'm so slow at painting as well, because I have to keep going backwards and forwards on stupid little things that I've missed. Okay. Oh, back to the level one more time. Yeah, I mean, I reckon. Oh, it's only. Okay, that is very small. Where am I? Yeah, I think I'd probably have to just repose it, to be honest. But I don't know how well I could do that. I've not really sculpted at all in my time of 40k, and so yeah, I don't really know how that would go. I'll definitely try it though. I do want to try more sculpting. I need to. One of my friends has actually recently been doing some sculpting and stuff, and some of it just looks so cool. That he's done. He's making currently he's making a dwarf. So he's got some old world dwarves, and he's making like a couple of dwarves like carrying a shield, going up some like stairs or standing on like top of some stairs, and he's putting like the king on top, like guzzling down some drink, and it looks really cool so far. Well, he hasn't done like the main part of it, but he's got the steps down and stuff, and he sculpted it all, and it just looks awesome. Like, so sculpting, I'd love to give that a go. I need to give it a go soon. It just opens up like another. I guess it is like sort of, this hobby can be broken down into so many other little bits. Obviously, painting's only like one factor of it. You've got like kit bashing, you've got sculpting. There's so many other bits to it. You've got doing like all the freehand that we were speaking about earlier. That's just a whole separate part to learn and do. I think that's why I like this hobby so much. There's just like so much variety to it. Like, some people like collecting, some people like playing, some people like painting, some people like there's all sorts to it. It's great. Maybe we can use this right as a base model. Yeah, I mean maybe. I'm not I'm not intending to buy any more AOS armies just yet, but I think Daughters of Cain would probably be my next one, if anything. But we'll see. There's a lot of FOMOing that goes on, so maybe I will jump onto the next thing, but I think Daughters of Cain would be the next one. I did actually start collecting a Nurgle army, but then I just got rid of the models basically as soon as I got them. I found them actually really cheap. I got like I was going to do like the human aspect side of Nurgle. I can't remember what they're called, like the Blight Knights. I think that's maybe the name. It's been a while since I've looked at them. And I found them, usually they're quite expensive, but I actually found them super cheap. So I was going to do them, but then I ended up selling them on. Just because I didn't have any time to do them. I've still got the Demon Prince, what was it called? The big giant monster, Great Unclean one, that's the one. So I've still got him bashing about, which I did magnetize up. Just haven't got around to painting him yet. And I also found I've actually got quite a lot of like bigger models. Who's the? I just painted my hat, I think. What is his name? I think Bellicor. I've actually been finding like quite a lot of models on eBay for like fairly cheap in like really good condition, which is a complete surprise to me because usually whenever I get models off of eBay, they're always in such bad shape. I remember I got some aggressors, some Space Marine aggressors, and one of the models just was super glued, like his helmet was just super glued in the slot, and it was just super glued everywhere, all over it, and it was terrible. It was like the worst, trying to get that helmet out, because it was just a complete mess. I had to go through so much to try to get that helmet out, it was horrendous. But I managed to do it. I had to use like some cutters and like mangle it all up to try to get it out. It was the worst experience I've had in trying to like clean up a model. For my next army, after I feel like my Blood Angel army is established enough, I'll do Demons of Khorne. Army mainly to do double triple duty system. Have you seen the new rules for like the demons and stuff like that? Well, I guess they're not really rules. So obviously now they're in their respective books, aren't they? So they're in like Wild Eat. So Khorne's obviously got Wild Eaters, and then Nurgle's with Death Guard. Zinch is with Thousand Suns, and then Slash is with Emperor's Children. I haven't actually looked at the demons rules because I don't actually have many demons besides Nurgle, which was going to be a AOS army anyway. That's actually a good idea. I don't know why that never came to mind, just switch up what model sits on top. It doesn't actually have to be the Avatar of Cain. It could literally just be anything. I don't know why I'd like sort of just stuck with like, okay, this has to be this. I guess I usually do that for quite a lot of stuff though. Like if it's a specific way, I like to have it that specific way. But I don't actually have to have that on top of it. So I don't know why I was thinking like that's set in concrete kind of thing. Yeah, that's good. I'm happy that they've actually released like a bunch of free rules and stuff like that. Still sucks that you have to pay for the codexes. Absolutely, just so dumb in my opinion. But the indexing and the new army rules that they give out like holiday periods have been very, very good. And very, very welcome. So I'm glad they're doing that. I just wish they, instead of do it like, you've probably heard it if you've watched other like YouTubers and like other people talk about it, but like having having the codex as like a art book instead of a rules book, because even when the rules are actually in there, it's just completely pointless because they're like invalidated like a couple months later, or even sometimes on release. Like there's been, I can't remember who it was, if it was Leagues of Votan, when they came out, the codex got released and it was just so stupidly broken and so overpowered that they just had to like nerf it straight away. That sounds pretty cool. So with like the cities of Sigmar, do you? Because I know I don't really know how it works in Age of Sigmar. Can you get like a? I think I remember playing. I remember playing a game of AOS, and I was able to use like I was using my Soulblight Gravelords, and then I was able to use a ghoul from the what they're called, the ghoul army, court of flesh eaters of court, whatever it's called. Can you like ally different things still in this new edition? I don't actually know how it works anymore. So if I was playing a destruction army, can I basically run ogres with, I don't know, like the names keep evading me, like the Auric War clans, something like that. I'm so close to getting this done. I don't know why I keep taking breaks. Okay, what's the Regiments of Renown? Is that just like a new where you can get like 500? So if you're playing like a 2,000 point game, can you get like a 500 point renown and then 500 point regiment, sorry, and then just bring in like some ally, I guess, like base them as allies from a different faction? Okay, that's how you bring models from other factions into your list. Okay, that makes sense. I do really like the aspect of having like allies and stuff, and I wish that was I swear that used to be a thing in 40k. I don't know what edition that was, but I swear it used to be one where you could like ally different factions. Well, I mean, it did in ninth, I guess, in a way. Okay. Got that leather bit done. Now I need to do the. I'm gonna leave the bones black. I just need to do the seats. I don't really know what color to do the seats. Regiments of the Renown are pre-made allies. You can bring them in from another faction. Specific regiments are locked to join specific factions and not always from the same grand faction. Oh, okay. An example is a Sylvaneth. Oh, that's interesting. That's pretty cool. Idoneth are a weird one for me. I don't know whether I like them or not. I like the models separately. I just find it really weird that they're all like sharks and eels and turtles and stuff. I don't know. It feels weird to me. But they are definitely like an interesting faction. And Sylvaneth. I do really like Sylvaneth. I like them mainly for the fact like I feel like you could do like a lot of glowing effect on them, or glowing effects on them. I like that the sort of spirits that they have, where they're like half like human, half tree. I think they're pretty cool. One of my friends collects them, as well as Chaos. I think that would be another one that I would like to get, but I try not to go for like the armies that my friends have. Just because one, I don't want to play against like the same sort of army, and then two, it's nice to have a variety. And I tend to go for the armies that have like a variety of like different models, which I know most of them do. But Sylvaneth is one of those ones where they are sort of the same model, just bigger, some smaller. Good morning, Sierra. How are you? I am the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I love it. Alright, let's continue. Get back onto the metal. Which is what I need to do. I actually need to paint over some of this red. Do I have any red? On my wet palette, I do not. I think I might have a look at doing some, or just finding like some random models in like old world and stuff, and give them a go at painting. So I do like a lot of their newer models that are coming out. I keep seeing like a lot of Lord of the Rings stuff come out as well. I'm pretty sure I saw a model today on like Instagram. They were showing, I can't remember what his name was. It was just like an envoy or something like that. But I'm surprised that they're still actually releasing like new models to them for Lord of the Rings. It's making a resurgence. I'm good. Bought Cruel Boys Spearhead recently. Sent it by mistake when my husband ordered the Iron Jewels one. That is not great, but I mean, are you getting? Do you get to keep both, or are you getting the other one? Cruel Boys are pretty cool. One of my friends collects them. He's got his army already painted, but I think he's only got like 1,000 points. There are some seriously cool models. Like I keep saying it, I will keep saying it, but AOS has such cool models. Like they're such high quality, and like the attention to detail in like all of the models, like especially like the newer ones, are so good. I'm assuming you are not from the UK if you're saying good morning. Where are you from? I reached out to the rep. We got the iron jewels in too. Oh, nice. It's quality. You know what? I've seen so many people get sent like the wrong things or get sent like double of something, and it's always like I'm always really jealous. Like I've never gotten like a double. I think the best thing that I've got is I got some Liquitex inks, and I bought one bottle, and I ended up getting 4, like a pack of 4 for some reason. But I only bought one Liquitex bottle. I think that's the best thing I've actually got. But I hear so many stories, like especially on like Reddit and stuff when you read it, that people just get sent like multiple boxes of one thing or like double boxes of something. But usually like Warhammer's fairly good in that sense. Like I've had models where they come and they've been broken and they send me like the spare parts and stuff, which has been pretty cool. USA, Oregon, that's pretty cool. Well, greetings from the UK. I hope you're doing well. How I want to break up a Sylvaneth army is using the Twisted World Warcry box to add some variety to the models of Twisted Wilds? I don't know what that is. So. Is that a box that is like currently being made, or is that one that's like again out of stock that you have to go find on eBay for like 100 quid? I guess Warcry is actually fairly new, isn't it? So that's probably going to be. So like. The hell is some of this stuff? Hell Pit Abomination looks crazy. Let's take a look. Is this the wrong thing? Warbands, that's the one. Twisted Wild, however you say it. Yeah, their models are cool. Yeah, that's the ones that I was thinking of. Like the half spirity human with a mixture of trees. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, they definitely would help to provide that sort of like variety to the Sylvaneth, which I don't feel like they have too much variety. I mean, they don't have that many models anyway, do they? My game store got the double. I didn't have to reorder. I paid for the crawlers. I've been pretty indecisive on which spearhead, and then all of a sudden they had an extra one, so I decided Sigmar has spoken. Well, that's how it goes, isn't it? I definitely want to. There's too many cool factions and stuff to actually get. So many. Kind of sucks how much, like, how expensive some of these things are, though. It's insane. But as long as you're happy with your purchase, then it's all good. Orcs are definitely a great faction to get into. or that variety of orc. I do underneath. But I feel like that's a big thing with me, where I'll be very indecisive on like what sort of faction I want to actually paint. I like to paint a bit of everything. So I think I was saying it earlier, but anything that has like a lot of variety in it is my cup of tea. What armies do you collect in 40k? I do both. Mostly 40k though. I very much enjoy 40k. I know a lot more about 40k than I do AOS, but I mean, I'm happy to play either or listen to lore about either. Okay, let's go back to the silvers again. Yikes, an Admech army. That is a very costly endeavor you've put yourself on there. But that's more than it sounds. We have some kill teams. Nemesis Claw, Vespid. The kill teams have been like top notch. The Nemesis Claw one, very, very cool. The Vespid one, I'm sort of like, I like the Vespids. I think they're very cool, and I'm glad that they made them into a kill team compared to what they used to be. And then the Scout Squad, I also had some, I think when I got back into, or when I was in 40k, like years and years and years ago, before I took a break, I had some like Scout kill teams. So I wasn't too like invested in the Scout kill team when it came out. But the Nemesis Claw is very cool. What are you modeling yesterday? Gonna build a Master of Executions to test if that's what I want to do next. Well, there is the, well, I guess it's just come out, hasn't it? Or it's already probably sold out. Yeah, it is definitely already sold out because it was the new World Eater box. But that is definitely the best way of doing it, just like buying one model, then buying like a huge box set, and then completely regretting your purchase. Or not regretting your purchase, but like being like, you've got to paint all of that now. But I do very much enjoy Wild Eaters. I've got a Wild Eaters army myself, as well as a Death Guard army, and a regular Chaos army, and now an Emperor's Children army. But I have, my first army was Emperor's Children, and I basically just expanded from that into like regular Chaos. But I got this one years ago, before Emperor's Children was actually Emperor's Children. To what it is now. But that sounds pretty cool. do you have like a set paint scheme that you're gonna do for your World Eaters, or have you got a set paint scheme for your Crawl Boys? Watching the anime first was brutal. 3 years in, I'm barely able to play it. 40k is so difficult to play. There's so many like rules. Have you tried playing the Combat Patrol at all? I've played one game of it and I enjoyed it. I usually play, so me and my friends usually do 2,000 point games, but because there's a few of us, we like to play all together. So we do 1,000 points each, and like we do like a 4-player game, and like switch out, kind of thing. We don't really ever play like singles. Sometimes we do if there's not everyone's around. But I've heard that Combat Patrol, when I played it, I played against before it got like more defined, I played against Eldar, and they just absolutely destroyed me. I can't remember who I was playing. I think I was actually playing World Eaters at the time, and they had some Wraith Guard, and they were just so goddamn hard to kill. Did they have Wraith Guard? I can't remember. I can't remember what the team was, but yeah, it was kind of stupid. And I also only played it in the Warhammer store, so I done like a taster kind of thing for Combat Patrol. Yeah, it was. I wasn't a big fan of it just because I like to use like a lot of different models, and I like to use like, obviously, I'm literally no good at playing. I suck, but I just enjoy like having like a variety of models, not just like the same set models to play with every single time. So I guess, yeah, I'd always prefer smaller games. I don't know if you ever played it, but the what's it called? The Space Hulk version. It escapes my mind. Oh, what is it? Gonna have to look it up. I can't remember what it's called. Basically, like the close quarters version. The community as a whole is very new, so they are focusing kill team. That's just easier to learn and smaller commitment. That is true. Kill team is good though. I've not actually played Kill Team, but I've my friends have spoken to me about it, and they very, very much enjoy it. I did actually get a couple of Kill Teams to paint, but I never actually got around to painting. I have the Orc Kill Team and the Space Marine. I did actually get the Cultist, the Blooded Kill Team, which I've painted up as like some renegade guard, like Talon, like the Desert Raiders. That's how I've done them, because I've basically made a Imperial Guard army, but they're all renegades. So that's sort of like what I've done with them. But yeah, that does make it a bit more difficult to play and stuff, especially like large point games. But they can be found. Like, so when I actually first started, what I did was I spoke to some people in my. So I used to go to the Warhammer store and actually play games there, and then I met a couple of people. Basically, gave them my number and created like a WhatsApp group. And then whenever I met someone like new there, if they wanted to play, I was just like, "Do you want to join the group?" And then we created like a very large, like, Warhammer community for like where I live. So we have like a ton of players, usually play. But it kind of sucks because where I live, one of the local stores that used to host like tournaments and stuff actually closed down. So that's kind of sad, and that was the better place to play. That's why everyone used to like to play, because they had some really good, nice looking boards there. So I don't really play too much anymore. But I just like all the narrative side of it anyway. It's very much, I find it very fun. But I'm definitely more of a painter than I am a actual player. But I hope you can find some. I hope you can find some games and some more people to play against. Because it is very enjoyable. There we go. Draw up on the model. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue, that. That's quite far to travel to play a game of Warhammer. What my original plan was just to create like a gaming board at home, like something that can be easily folded up and like put away and stuff. And then I was just gonna do that and invite people around whenever I wanted to play or whenever they wanted to play. If I was free, obviously. But I never actually got around to it. And I was looking at like, you can get custom built tables and stuff. And they cost a lot of money, like some of them. So you can like have like a regular like dining table and then have like a proper gaming setup underneath it. That was basically what I wanted to do. But it's very, very expensive. And with all the financial situations going on in the world at the moment, it's probably not the best investment to go towards. But our local game store opened September 2021. We've been visiting since they opened. We wanted to carry Warhammer because we were starting about the same time. It's pretty cool. It's been growing for Warhammer since. We were very lucky. Yeah, Warhammer has been getting fairly big, especially since that time, like that time period where COVID was about. Like Warhammer's grown massive since then. Obviously, you got like a bunch of upcoming like TV shows. You've got a bunch of games now as well, which has made it huge. Like Space Marine 2, which has done like super well. I think Space Marine 3 is coming out, or is being developed anyway. So that should be pretty cool. Don't know why I put this model down because I'm not actually done with it yet. But what made you pick Admech anyway for your first army? Do you just like the designs of the models? I'm not sure what makes people like buy the armies that they get. For me, it's usually like the lore side of things. I read or I listen to like an audiobook or something like that, and then I'm like, okay, I love this faction. I want to get a whole army of this. that is the best way to do it. The rule of cool. Anyone who picks their models because of the rules, it's a no-go from me. Absolutely not. But people who pick their models based on the design and stuff, that's the one. That's the way to do it. Or like the lore behind it. Anything that's based around like actually playing and the rules is just no. It's absolutely no fun. Okay, almost there. And I can start doing some of the shading. So, once I've done more of the levers. Currently just getting this army ready because I'm playing a game on Saturday next week. So I'm just trying to get like all the base coats down of like each of the colours, like the metallics and the reds and all that. And then from there I'm just going to build up like shading and highlights. The admech in general are so well designed. I also like Space Marines, but they felt kind of plain and too many choices of what chapter when I knew nothing at all. Yeah, I think the thing that I like about Space Marines is obviously you've got so much freedom. You can do your own, obviously. I mean, with any faction, you can do your own sort of like homebrew scheme. But I've never been that big of a fan of AdMech. Yeah, the cost of entry is a huge, it's a huge part. Obviously, when you're starting off, you don't know that if you want to play. Usually, I don't know. Usually the store, like sales assistants and stuff, would help you with that. But in my case, I actually had so I went into a Warhammer store. I spoke to the manager there because he was just walking around like talking to people, and he started talking to me and was like, blah blah blah. He started talking, and I used to collect Tau and Space Marines like back when I was a lot younger. And then when I got back into the hobby, I was like, I really want to paint like a captain on bike, not knowing that the captain on bikes were actually just going to be legend, or basically just sent to like the graveyard, like all their rule sets and stuff. So he was trying to sell me like this captain on bike and a bunch of like outriders and bikers. Luckily I didn't actually buy any of it, but it was actually really annoying because like the next day the new indexes were released and none of that was actually in the codex. So I'm kind of lucky. I don't know obviously if he knew that it wasn't going to be in there. I think there was like a lot of rumors to say that they weren't putting the captain on bike in there, but it was still like I was kind of like yeah, I don't know if I trust you anymore just because of that. So yeah, it was kind of annoying, but I mean, I did, like I said, I didn't actually go through with getting any of it anyway. I kind of wanted a darker color for this, but I'm just going to paint this bow anyway. But yeah, AdMech, did you like the new model? I don't know what it's called, but it's like the Skitarii, like on the stilts. That guy, I found that guy really funny. And I wasn't the biggest fan of the model, but I still like, I like most models that come out, to be honest. One, mainly because I know people like put a lot of time and effort into them, so I don't want to hate on something that is just like, it's not really worth it in the end. But I think from AdMech, my favorite models Wait, am I thinking of the right people? Are they the... okay, yeah. That makes sense. What was I gonna say? The Electro Priests. I think they are some of the coolest models, in my opinion, of anime. And I really like the big dune crab thing with like the turret looking thing. Yeah, that model's funny. But that is 40k, isn't it? That's just the way 40k is, just some absurd model. Or yeah, just absurd models that come out. They're just so good. They can look so outrageous, but people are still gonna love it. So that's just the way it is. And I respect that. Nebulous. Don't know who that is. Let's have a look. Deptus Mechanicus. Sidene. Scatros is the one. Manipulus. Oh, this guy. The Tech Priest Manipulus. Is that the one we're talking about? Yeah, that's the one. What made me pick up these guys, the ogres? Well, so I have a Soulblight Gravelord army, and it's a lot of models. So I wanted something that I liked that was more a little less of like the models, so I didn't have to paint as many. There's one thing which I've previously mentioned, but I don't really like to paint like a whole army worth of models. I used to do commission painting like a year ago or something, and I painted someone's Imperial Guard army, or what the hell are they called? Astra Militarum army, but it was only infantry, so I was painting like 100 odd infantry models, and I got sick of it. And when I came back to like painting my own stuff, I bought myself, I think, 120 zombies for my Soulblight Gravelord army, and I couldn't bring myself to paint them. And I also have Death Guard, so I was also painting what they called, the slow walking zombie guys. I can't remember what they're called, but yeah. So what I wanted was some like cool looking army. I know quite a lot of these models are fairly old, but I wanted to go for something that's more elite based, where there's not going to be as many models and things to paint. That is basically why I went for them. But I really liked like the aesthetic, and I don't know too much about them, but I played them on like Total War. I played these guys on Total War, so Poxwalkers, that's the one. Yeah, so I've got like 40 odd Poxwalkers. I painted 20 of them. I've still got 20 more to paint. I just can't bring myself to paint them. I need to just buckle down and just do it. But yeah, there's times where I just don't want to, which is most of the time. I'm very much just a single model person, where I'll paint one model up and do it like detailed. Doom Crawler and the Electro Priests are my favorite. But I did actually just check out the Manipulus, which is also pretty cool. Yeah, I do like their aesthetic. I'm not too big on the dragoons though. And all the names. One thing I find about AdMech are the names are just so crazy. They just got crazy names, all of them, which is quite cool in a way. But then it's just like you can never actually remember what they're called. I mean, I'm quite forgetful with names, but I guess I'm not very good at like doing two things at once. So like doing this streaming, I think this is my third or fourth stream now. I feel like I'm getting better at it though, like talking and like painting at the same time. But usually, obviously, I paint in silence because I'm not really talking to anyone. But now I've started streaming. It's like I'm trying to remember stuff at the same time, and it's proving to be quite difficult. This guy's got some gnarly looking toes. Chicken walkers are incredible. Yeah, I think that's probably the better way to name them. Make them up, make some little nicknames for them. This guy's head again. I did do like the eyes yesterday, but I don't know if I've done them that solidly. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But how is America? I've been there a couple of times. One of my mates is actually over there right now. He's seeing his girlfriend. But I can't actually remember where she lives. Well, I think he's seeing his girlfriend. He's got family over in Texas. He knows people he's got friends over in Los Angeles. And I want to say Utah. I think his girlfriend lives in like Utah or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think he's over there now, just like traveling around. Still deciding what colour to paint this thing's head. I don't know what it is. This little arrow holster. Try that around. It's cool. Oh, okay. Oh, it's yeah. Okay. Don't have to expand on that. Don't worry. Don't know if this is meant to be metal or not. I don't think so. Guess I need to look at a picture. Let's take a look. Where's this guy? Is it metal? It is metal. Well. some more silver. I swear I miss so many little things, so many little details and stuff. But it's fine. This is your first guy in this army. So I haven't actually finished the skin tones. This is just rack our flesh. What I'm doing at the moment is I don't have too much time and I'm a very slow painter. So when it comes to like painting armies, like I mentioned, I only really like painting like a couple of guys, like every now and then. I do like painting. I love painting, but it takes me ages just to get one person done. So what I'm doing at the moment is just doing like their base colors that I want them. So obviously I'm starting with like red, like trousers. So I've done that for like majority, and then I'm just blocking in the metallics, and then I'm going to do the bone parts, and I'm going to do like the wood, ropes, and then the sort of furs afterwards. And so that's basically how I'm doing it, because I'm playing a game on Saturday next week, and I just wanted to get them so they're actually like painted to some standard, not just so they're sort of like not painted at all. So my friends like to play with like fully painted armies, and I need to start painting my armies, which is what I tend not to do. So that's basically what I'm going for, but it's literally just rack our flesh. It's nothing like special for them at the moment, but what I'm going to eventually do is build up on them and do like extra highlights and add some extra stuff. But this isn't the first one I've painted. So I've actually painted one up fully, which I'll show. So I've done like, not actually painted, so this is the only one that I've actually painted up to like a actual decent level. Everyone else I haven't actually painted at all, really. Like I've done pretty much like the same where I got them before, so I haven't actually done like a whole lot on them. I've just thrown some paint on them just to get them like, so if you at least look at them on the tabletop, you'll be like, okay, slightly painted. But this is the only one that I've actually painted fully. So this is basically what I wanted to get up to for the rest of them. I just need to put some time and effort into them. But I've got my whole army consists of 2, 4, 6, 10, 14, 15, 21, about 26 models, I think. So that's my whole army. So if I can actually paint 26 models, I'm like fully, I'm gonna be happy, because I don't think I've done that for any army so far. I don't think I've got a fully painted army. I used to have a fully painted Salamander's army, but that was only like 1,000 points, something like that. So I'm hoping I can actually complete this by next Saturday and actually get all, like at least every single color blocked in, even if they aren't like painted to the highest of levels or the level that I want to have them at and that I'm happy with. That's sort of what I'm going for. But thank you. Don't be scared of highlighting. It's so you can always remove paint. Like it's not a big deal to remove them. It may seem like kind of scary, but you just sort of just gotta go for it. And so I was actually gonna make a video on this like fairly soon because I haven't actually made a video in a while, but I wanted to make a video on like how to like get over like some sort of fears. And yeah, that's one of the big things. Like people get really worried about ruining their models, and even me to like some extent. I kind of just like send it most of the time now. But there is, I know. Obviously, it sounds like it's a bit far for you, but if you go to like the Warhammer store, they'll do like a miniature of the month, so you can always just go there if you've got any like spare time and pick up like a miniature of a month and then use that as like a what's it called, like a test model. I've got, so one that I use is, I just use this guy for like test schemes and stuff. This guy's been painted so many times. I just throw down like, I don't want to waste any time on it, so I just grab a paint, throw some paint on it, do like one highlight and be like, okay, that's cool. And then that's basically what I do. So this will, not really a specific part, but just like any part. Like any part. But that's, yeah, that's sort of my advice for it. But yeah, like the alternative is just not painting them and not getting any better. So, but the thing is, like, what you'll find is when people say like they're scared to paint their models, like when you're first starting, like your painting's probably not going to be all that good anyway. So like you may think it is at the time, but it's probably not going to be that good. And then once you do that a couple of times, you'll see like you'll basically be able to see your progress. You'll be like, oh my god, I used to think that was good. And then you look at your new models and you're like, this is so much better than what I used to be able to do. And yeah. And then like you don't need to worry about, one of the things that I actually, when I first started getting into the hobby, I was like, I used to hate some of my paint jobs that I used to do, and I was always worried about like going to a store and playing with them or something like that, just because I hated like the look of them and stuff. And then some people were just so impressed with it, and I was just like, oh no, I don't like it. But like no one's gonna be a dick about it, you know. Obviously, if some people might see like some little things that you can improve on, that might give you some advice. I actually picked up my first kill team because it was less scary committing to 10 dudes over. Yeah, no, definitely don't go out and buy 2,000 points worth of an army. That is silly. Unless it's a Custodes army, then that's like 15 models. But most people in this hobby, I found most people have been very helpful, especially with like helping you paint and just even like playing the games, like teaching you the rules and stuff. Like there's only specific people that don't do that, and then at that point you just don't want to even like really speak to them people. Yeah, I mean that's what you gotta do. You just got to paint, and you're just gonna improve. Like it doesn't really matter. Like you're gonna improve in some aspect of painting if you're just painting. Like it like, and to be fair, you don't even need to be a good painter. Like you don't even need to like think of yourself as a good painter or anything. Like you just, I got in this hobby to have fun. Like I honestly just don't care. Like I feel like I'm an alright painter, but I at the same time like I want to have fun painting, and that's the main thing that I have fun in is painting. So I'm gonna paint. Oh, okay, I understand what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm very against having one scheme for across the entire army. I found it so boring. I like to have a variety. I never really like paint one scheme across like the entire army. I always have to have some sort of variety, whether it's so for instance, like World Eaters, I have set to like the standard, so I've got like red and gold on like one squad of berserkers, and then the other squad I've got their old like 30k scheme, which is like white and blue, so white like body with blue shoulder pads and some gold or brass, I think. And then I've got I've done white and red shoulders. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly. It's a hobby. It's meant to be fun. Like some people take things way too seriously, and it kind of just brings the joy out of it. That's what it's all about, just having fun. And that's exactly why I got back into it, because I really enjoyed, instead of like playing video games and stuff, I just got back into painting and I just loved it. It got me away from the computer. And to be honest, that's what most people say. Like orcs are always like the gateway to like happiness. They're definitely one of the better factions to be painting. Can't remember where I was. I was doing the metal, wasn't I? The metal on the crossbow. But I find one of the things that I found, especially with some of my friends, like some of them are really quick painters, and I always found myself trying to keep up with them. And I'm not a quick painter at all. Like I like to take my time. I enjoy it. Well, it depends what I'm doing, but most of the time I like to take my time. It's just when they're like, "Oh, we got a game in like a couple of weeks. I want to get all these done," and then I'm like, I could potentially do it, but I don't want to like rush it or anything, because like I said, I enjoy painting, so why would I rush it? At the same time, there's specific things that I don't like to paint, so I do like to rush through them. But again, it's a hobby. It's all about enjoyment, and if you don't get any enjoyment from it, why are you doing it? But of course, I know some people like to play and stuff like that, so they do want to get them painted up as quickly as possible, because I find more enjoyment out of playing than actual painting. This bit as well, which is what I missed. But if there is any sort of like, I just had a thought, but if there is any sort of painting aspect that you want to learn or try do, let me know and I can make a video or I can show you on stream like a potential way of doing it, that sort of thing. as I will be streaming throughout the weeks, going probably all the way up till September, maybe. And then after that, I'll probably be, so I'm going to be streaming from from Wednesday to Saturday, and it's probably going to be like midday in UK times towards like 5 p.m, which I've got like 40 minutes left, which I'm probably going to end the stream there, but I'll see. Is this finished? I don't know. I'll paint this bit as well. Screw. Then I'll also do the. Oh, I think it's called. Let's do it all silver. Why not? And maybe could we come back in with the brown because I've not hit the entire thing. Maybe more. Oh, cool. YouTube's actually pushing it out, which is nice. But I'm glad you joined anyway. I appreciate you popping in. But yeah, if you do come back another day, let me know how it goes. Yeah, chores aren't fun, but gotta be done. So. But yeah, definitely let me know how the Master of Execution goes. I don't really know what colours to do rope, to be honest. I've never been that invested in learning what colours to do rope. But I think I will... Maybe I'll start with some greys and do some greys. I'll have a look to see what seat colour I can do. Oh, that's cool. Does he have, I can't remember, I think it's like Skull Taker or something like that. The guy that's standing on the rock. That's like got his hand up. It's got like a metal blade of some sort. I think that's the one that I have. I was gonna proxy it for Master of Executions. Because the Master of Executions was always sold out. Because I think it has like some really good rules. Is it Skull Taker? Maybe I have to find it in a second. Can't find it. What the hell? Oh, that's because I'm in the wrong thing. I'm in the wrong category. Blazer Core. Slaughter Priest with Hackblade and Warhammer. That's the one. Yeah, the Slaughter Priest is the one that I was going to use as a proxy. Just because I thought the model was so cool. I don't actually have a Blades of Khorne army, but I'm not too keen on the demons, to be honest. I really like the models of the demons, but I've just never really wanted an army of it. Yeah, Skull Taker is the actual demon version, and yeah, it is a very cool model. Let's keep it here. Yeah, the Slaughter Priest I think is really cool. It's got a lot of flesh to paint though. It's the downside if you don't enjoy painting flesh, especially collecting a Admech army. Flesh is weak. I don't know how I'd feel about that with the human head on like a demon. I mean, I guess that would be pretty cool. I don't know. I guess if it's done in the right way. I don't know. I feel like the head would be kind of small. I guess it depends on what you use. I don't know. Who am I to judge? I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm doing grey for the seat. Try it out. If not, I'll paint it a different colour. Yeah. Shouldn't really see too much of it anyway, even if it doesn't come out that well, since a person's going to be sitting on it. A big old ogre's going to be sitting on it, so it shouldn't matter too much. Yeah, human. Maybe not. Does that work? I guess. Kind of. Not really that bothered. Like one of the Wild Eater Berserker heads. Yeah, that would be cool. I think I would like that, to be honest. I don't know if Berserkers actually... I don't... Oh no, you do. Yeah, you do get like regular human heads on Berserkers as well. I've built some of mine like that. I just remembered. So I'm guessing you're very much on the side of Khorne then. You don't think about Nurgle or Slaanesh or Tzeentch too much. Maybe? I have no idea what colours I need to do these. The flawless blades are so good. They look so damn cool. I'm kind of sad that the World Eaters don't get anything new besides that one. I can't remember what he is, but the big 8-bound guy, captain. Kind of sad about that. But the Emperor's Children, very cool. I absolutely love Emperor's Children. So a new Lucius model, very, very cool. And the flawless blades. I know a lot of people don't like the flawless blades because of their heads, like the cone heads, but I think they look really cool. I'm a big fan. I definitely want to get some of those, but I'm gonna wait. Obviously, there was the release of them with the I can't remember what it is, the combat patrol they're in. So I was just gonna wait because all of their combat patrols went out of stock straight away. But I managed to get a full Grim, which is sitting next to me in the box. Which I haven't even opened the main box yet. But I was thinking of doing like a tutorial for him, but I feel like that's gonna take me a very long time to do. So I'd like to do him to like a quite a high, well, the highest possible standard that I could do. Just because that's how I've been doing Mortarion. So I've got Mortarion, Angron. I don't actually have Magnus. And I don't want to get Magnus because that will make me want to have Thousand Suns army. But what I originally was planning to do is just get each of the Primarchs and paint them all up when they get done. Yeah, the new what they called Noise Marines and the Infractors and Tormentors are so cool as well. I love all the models that have come out, and yeah, they can keep their opinions and be incorrect with their opinions. It's absolutely fine with me. But I'm glad some of the like the Mauler Fiend is still in the codex, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I did actually paint a Slanesh or Emperor's Children themed Mauler Fiend. So I'm happy about that. Although I did have a bunch of Raptors for Emperor's Children, which I can obviously no longer use, but I'm just going to use them in my main general Chaos army, so I'm not really that bothered about that. My local game store has boxes in stock, but I just bought a spear. Try not to buy everything I'm remotely interested in. Yeah, that's the issue. That is the issue. That's one thing, like what I was saying earlier, where I listened to a bit of lore about some random thing, like just a random army which I have no interest in at all, but I'm just like, I like listening to like lore of Warhammer and stuff because I find it interesting and it's fun for me. And then it immediately makes me want an army of that thing, or at least just like if I'm listening to like a specific hero or something, it just makes me want that hero. But the Force Blades are going to be my Emperor's Children test models for sure. Raptors. So like basically like Chaos Space Marines with jump packs. That's what Raptors are. Similar to like Warp Blades. Are they Warp Blades? Warp Blades or like Warp Talons or Talon something? I can't remember the name of them. Let's see. Warp Talons, that's the one. Yeah, so there's Raptors and Warp Talons, which I like. Warp Talons are I don't really know what they are in like lore terms, but they're basically got lightning claws on chaos marines with jump packs, pretty much. It's basically the gist of them. And then raptors are basically chain blades with some pistols and like maybe a flamethrower melter gun with just a basic like chaos marine with a jump pack on. But they're not in the codex for Emperor's Children. So I think I had like 10 of those, which I can't use. I've also done just jet engine strapped to the back. But yeah, I love all like the jetpacks and stuff they have. I think that's so cool. Slowly getting there. After the rest of the stream, I'll catch you again. Thanks, Rick. I appreciate you joining the stream and chatting. It's been nice. I'll speak to you again soon. Way too much. Gonna keep all their tusks and like nails and hoofs and stuff. I think keep it simple. Don't know what colour to paint his face. I was going to go for like a dark grey, but I don't know if that's going to work the way I want it to work. Should paint it dark, yeah, but it's going to be black anyway, so that's fine. Not really sure what colour to do the bones either. Besides bone colour, but in terms of like actual paint colour. Like ivories and stuff, I don't really know where to go with that. I'm not too sure. I've missed a bunch of stuff on there. I need to paint the metal bits on these guys as well. You know, I'll paint all their tusks first. Just do them a coat of black and then go from there. thinking maybe like a darker grey, like an Eshin grey, something like that, and go to Dark Reaper or something for the snout part of it. I don't really know. I don't even know what they actually look like. Usually, jump over to some pictures. See what we've got. So yeah, they have like a grey. Looks like a lighter grey, darker grey. Yeah, they got some like bronze mixed in as well. I've just done my straight silver. Maybe I'll change it. Maybe I'll update it and do some, throw in some brass and bronze in there. Probably not, because I want to try to get this done as quickly as possible. But I'll probably throw some weathering in instead of doing like a mixture of colours. I don't know, it seems a little bit easier. Going through and changing a bunch of colours, maybe throw in some rust or something, like some of the metals. I was discussing this yesterday as well, doing like some tattoos and then trying to do some like freehand. I'm not very good at freehand. I would like to get better, so I'll probably, I mean, if anything goes terribly wrong, where I'm really not happy with it, I'll just paint over it again with the skin tone. But I think tattoos would be pretty cool. So I know they've got like their maw, or whatever it's called, the great maw, like the teeth pointing in a circle. So I might give that a go, just on a couple of them, like on their shoulder area, or even on like their chest. See how that goes. Let's get in these bits. It's kind of awkward. Yeah, happy with that. Keep that like that. Oh, they've got more of a bone colour to their tusks, but I don't really want to do that. I think I'm just going to keep it as I've got it right now. I'm going to call that a day. Right, I'll keep going with this grey and do like another coat, I think. Don't know if I like this grey on here, but it's whatever at this point. I've done it. So I'll most likely keep it, but like I said, you shouldn't really see too much of it, so I'm not really that bothered. It's just a light grey that I'm using. I think it's neutral grey by Vallejo. Damn, I swear it's gotten warmer, but it's actually gotten cooler. Only by 1 degree, but still. Feel very warm in here. Got the windows open. Alas, it'll still be pretty warm. Okay, I kind of want to do the basing. Just quickly get like a coat of something on the base. What do I want to do as the grey though? Don't actually have any greys with me at my desk. What's this one? Dawnstone. Need something darker, I think. Brown. I want a dark silver. A dark silver? A dark grey. Definitely don't want that. I might have to do that tomorrow then. I'll have a look at what grey paints I've got. I'm going to do the base quickly. Throw on some paint on the base. See if I can get a little bit more colour going. These models. I'm going to use quite a big brush, I think. So I can slap it down. Doesn't really matter about like how much paint I'm throwing down on these, to be honest. Just going to use Steel Legion Drab. See how they'll paint. For now. Just like the base coat. I used to use Rhinox Hide all the time, but I stepped away from it because I use Rhinox Hide for basically any browns that I don't really know what to paint. So just like Rhinox Hide is the one. Kind of like to make it very watery and then just pretty much dab it everywhere. And see if I can get it to spread around. I'm not too bothered about like the rocks, so I'm gonna go over it with like a overbrush of like a grey of some sort. I keep needing to get greys. That's quite annoying, but I don't know what greys to use for this, but we'll see. So I am gonna be putting some like snow over the top of this anyway. It's gonna be a very quick thing because I don't want to spend too long on these, even though I've spent the last few streams painting these, how many models? I guess 5 models, but it is a cavalry, so they're quite big models. And I've got until next week, Saturday, to do this, so. I'm not too fussed how long these take. I just want to get them done by Saturday next week. So if it comes down to it, I might be able to do some highlights on these, which I'm kind of looking forward to, because that is the part that I really enjoy. You can start seeing like all the brightness and the lights hitting and stuff like that. Don't know if I like this actually. I mean, it's okay, but I've only experimented with like different browns for basing like recently. I say recently, it's probably like early January time, late December. It's when I last properly painted. Other than that, I was busy doing a lot of other things. This paint doesn't feel like it wants to spread that easily. Let's see if I can find a better way of doing this quickly once I've done this one. Let's get into them little gaps. Properly watered down the paint so it hopefully just runs into like some of the gaps to where it's harder to get to, so I don't go over the model, just get in all the cracks and stuff. That's basically what my plan is and what I'm trying to achieve, but it doesn't seem to be working that well. I've done this several times with tons of other models. It's just not working out very well with this paint. Should I be blaming the paint? No. Should I be blaming me? Yes. Am I going to blame the paint? Yes. Once all is done, I think it's going to look pretty cool when they're done. I hope they do anyway. Just need to find some greys that I want to paint. I think it will be an Eshin grey, but I just need to find it. Go find it. I just don't want to waste too much time looking for that. Okay, what I'm going to try now. See if I can do it like this instead. Oop. Got a big dollop of paint on here, and I'm just going to pat it down, wet my brush, and just come back in and then see if I can spread it. If that makes it a little bit easier. Which it actually has. It has helped. It's quite a lot of paint that I've used though for a very small area so far. So I just need to get some more water and try to spread it around a little bit. It felt a bit quicker to do that, but I don't know how much paint I've just wasted doing that. It's something that's got me very little in terms of like painting the actual base. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to try it again, just on the other side. Just see if I can spread it around a little bit more. See if this works again. Yeah. Worked a little bit better this time. I didn't just put it all in one location. let's see. Got one more bit to do on this bit. Just got to do the front part of it, and then maybe the middle as well. So I guess that's 2 bits, but it's just the base, so it counts. So I was correct. Let's get some water and just spread it. It's nice when it just immediately spreads as soon as you put water in it. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. But I'm not too, again, not too bothered about covering all of the rocks, just because they are going to be coated with grey, or like a light dry brush of grey over the top, and then maybe I'll throw in some potentially I'll throw in some pigments, make it like a rusty kind of look, and then I'll do some snow over the top. I don't want to hit my hat with a paintbrush. But that is the plan right now. Let's see if I can just get these bits, stipple some paint in. Just get under the hoofs. I think once I've done this, I'm probably going to call it a day, but I just want to say thank you to everyone who is watching, and I appreciate you sitting here on your Friday afternoon watching me paint a little bit, talking through what I'm doing. It's been nice chatting to some new people, so I appreciate anyone who's taken the time out of their day to come visit my stream. This is the early days of streaming. I think this is my 3rd or 4th time. I am going to be trying to stream from Wednesdays to Saturdays, from about 12 o'clock in the afternoon till about 5 p.m. So for like 5 hours, depending on how much I have to paint. There will be a week off that I've got soon, which I won't be streaming for, but that is basically my plan on what I intend to do. And I am gonna stick to that. Basically got the same model here. I guess the chair has changed a little bit, but that's fine. But do I continue and do a couple more? I kind of want to. I'll keep going for a little bit longer. But yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone who is currently watching. It means a lot. And I have only just started streaming. I do need to get back to making some actual videos, some YouTube videos. So if you haven't, then hit the subscribe button, because I am going to be releasing hopefully like a weekly YouTube video, as well as continuing the streaming. I've got some ideas that I want to play with shortly. Potentially make one over the weekend and get it released for next week. And have that on the go, as well as the streams. I'm thinking of maybe throwing in some other streaming sessions, maybe like later in the evening times as well. I want to try keep it to like the middle of the day, just because that's when I'm mostly free, and then potentially some in the evenings. I don't know yet. We'll see. But at the moment, that is what I'm going to go for. So we'll see what happens. as it is now 5 o'clock. I think we're going to call it there for now. I'm going to continue tomorrow, 12 o'clock, at the same time. Well, roughly anywhere from like 12 till 2 I'll start the stream. I'm not 100% sure. I've got some stuff to do in the mornings, well, on a daily. I usually have like quite a lot to do in the mornings. So I'll be doing that. But it will be, yeah, I'll start the stream anywhere from like 12 to 2 o'clock. And I will be continuing these models to try to get them done for next week, Saturday. After that, I'm going to look to do some Emperor's Children and paint up some Emperor's Children. Currently, I've been following, if anyone's heard of him, Fletcher from Tabletop Tactics, and doing his color scheme. But I intend to do like my own color scheme shortly, which is probably going to be like a white based armor color with some like pink hue to the armor. That's basically what I intend to do, but I'll see how I get on with that. But I'll probably start on stream, and then I'll probably make a couple of videos about that. See how I go from there. But yeah, I'm now going to end the stream. But again, thank you to everyone who's joined the stream and currently watching. Sorry to leave you, but I hope you enjoyed the stream. It's been fun chatting to all the new people, and I will hopefully see you in the future. So thank you and goodbye.